All
Welcome
right.
everyone to this edition of Cannabis Pitch Live. I'm Reginald Grant. We have Chef Nikko as our special featured chef, cooking with terpenes. We have Joe Hager from Oklahoma and CJ Rocks. That is Big Bad Jeff Walker. All right, Jeff, take it over. I'll shut up.
Hello and good evening, and thank you for joining us for this edition of Cannabis Pitch Live. Let's first off by starting to thank our sponsor for tonight, which is Present Naturals, presentnaturals.life, a CBD and hemp company. For those of you who don't know, this is the sample box from Present Naturals. We have Rich Present on with us tonight, who is the president and CEO of Present Naturals. And what we're going to be talking about is CBD tinctures. We have the lemon variety. We have the orange variety.
And
we have the muscle jelly. We have the lip balms. My wife can't wait to get her hands on this. This is actually coconut peach and orange peppermint. I told her she wasn't allowed to touch these until after the demonstration. And then we have transdermal patches, both in the hemp variety and the vitamin variety. So we've got hemp and vitamins. We have vitamin B12. We have hemp, 250 milligrams, and vitamin D3.
So what sample box there, Jeff? Wow, that's like six different items, 7 different items?
I'm sorry?
That's like 6 or 7 different items, 8?
Absolutely. It was a great sample box, and as in the bottom of my screen, I see Rich Present from Present Enterprises, the CEO. Rich is with us tonight. So at this point, I'm going to turn the show over to Rich, our sponsor, and we're going to talk a little bit about presentnaturals.life and our partner here. Anybody that wants to get any of these products, all they have to do is contact us, and we'll go right through our partner program from Rich Present. Rich, take it away.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if you can hear me. I think everybody can. I'm starting to figure out this Zoom thing. I'm Richard Present. I'm with Present Naturals. If you're going to ask me a bunch of technical questions, I'm going to tell you I don't know shit. No, that's not the case. Anyways, we make a lot of different CBD products. When we started making CBD products, we honestly did it for ourselves. We didn't make them based on what other people were looking for, because we really got into it in the beginning about 7 years ago in medical. And we figured what worked on us would work on other people because we use every day. So not a lot of, we use what's called the CBD isolate in most of our products. I'm sure people are familiar with that. Instead of a distillate, we use an isolate form. One of the gentlemen that helped create the transdermal portion of our line is Ludwig Wyman. And gosh darn it, I forgot Bob's last name. But anyhow, 2 of those guys basically helped create Nicoderm back in the day. So using their formulations, using their advanced technology when it comes to the adhesives and the bioavailability of the patches, that's where they're just knowledgeable. They've been doing it for years. They know how to get that into the skin. So we let those guys create that for us, and the transdermals have been doing very well. Jeff has a few in his box there. One's a CBD hemp isolate patch. One thing that's good about the Present Naturals transdermals is they're kind of like the old Band-Aids. You have to rip them off when you're done. And the reason we made them that way, we looked at, we were doing transdermals a long time ago, even before Mary's Medicinals, believe it or not. And one thing we found out there is that a lot of the people that wanted to use transdermals couldn't use them during their normal daily routine. Why? Either A, they were at the gym sweating, B, they had to take a shower in the middle of the afternoon after putting a patch on just that morning, and then the patch would fall off in the shower, or they would sweat it off, or the corners would peel. So when we built our transdermal patch, we built it to where it would stay on, it would seal. You could shower, water sports, hike, do whatever you wanted. You're going to get that 24-hour to 48-hour relief, depending on your body. Everybody's skin, everybody's body is different. So depending on milligrams, I've got friends that, weigh in the mid 200s that got really good results off a 10 to 15 milligram patch. And then I've got guys that are, a $110, $120 dripping wet who didn't feel anything off of 15 milligrams, so went to the 25 milligram 50. So, and depending on your skin, whether, me, I'm an Italian Jew. So I've got this beautiful olive skin all of the time. I'm sorry you guys don't have that, so it really depends on skin color, ethnicity, a lot of things depending on how much bioavailability you will get out of the patch. But we built these things so you can wear them in your normal daily life, your daily routine every day. For the CBD one, we enjoy the CBD patch. We feel that if you are have inflammation, or you are having joint, muscle joint problems, this, that, and the other, the CBD patch is great. But remember, this isn't THC. We're not going to feel a difference in the head. And before you start feeling a real difference with CBD, just like any other CBD product out there, you really got to get those cannabinoid receptors built up. So just like vitamin C, you're told, take vitamin C every day. It's part of your vitamin routine. And that's basically what CBD is. And it should be thought of as that type of product, where you just take it every day and realize that you have this cannabinoid receptors, the CB1, CBD, CB2s, and that you're feeding the body something proper. And everything else will just kind of fall in line when it comes to CBD. When it comes to the nutraceuticals, well, everybody knows out there that nobody's getting enough vitamin B. And when it comes to vitamin D, that's the last couple of months since COVID's come around, it seems that we're noticing the more vitamin D, the more healthy you are towards not contracting that disease as well. So up here in the Northwest, vitamin D is very important. We don't see the sun half as much as some of the people in the South. And so vitamin D is important. But vitamin B, let me tell you, our vitamin B patches, we have people call us all the time that tell us they've given up their morning Red Bull, they didn't need it, or they didn't need that second or third cup of coffee because they put that little patch behind the ear. And it's absolutely great. I mean, these patches, the 6 patches in one pack of vitamin B, for instance, they retail out there, I think it's either $12.99 or $13.99. I haven't checked recently. But that's,
Rich, do you mind, can I ask, like, how big of an area does that cover as far as the
about
patch?
a nickel.
Okay.
Oh, why don't we open it up?
Yeah, open it up.
As long as we're talking about these items, let's get
absolutely. Rich, would you prefer that I open up the hemp 25 milligrams or one of the vitamin patches?
No, open up anything you want. We can talk about them as you open up. Guys,
Cool.
bear with me. I'm gonna eat while I'm doing this. I haven't eaten all day. I've got to multitask.
All right, so
A little string cheese action.
How many of those vitamin B patches are you currently wearing, Rich?
Well, it's a funny thing. I always forget that I'm very active, I don't know, I guess you'd call it ADD, ADHD. I don't know. I'm almost 50, so they didn't know what group to put me in when I was younger, I guess. But I'm over the top. So I use the vitamin Bs about once or twice a week when I feel that I work basically from 7 in the morning to about midnight every night. So it can wear down on me. And I notice that about every 3 to 4 days that I got to get one of those on my body so I start feeling normal again. Otherwise, I just get wore out. And the vitamin D, I mean, I just can't beat that. I wear that a couple times a week as too. I kind of go vitamin B, vitamin D, vitamin B, vitamin D. Oh, and
they can cut you off
we're just not going to get enough. Go ahead, Jeff.
What I was saying is that what I have here is, and I don't know who can see me because it's still looking like Rich is on the speaker view. I have one patch for the hemp, and it's a square, Can you see what I'm saying, Rich, or no?
Yeah, I can see you.
All right, great. So I have here one patch that is a square, and it also comes with a medium prep pad. So I assume that you would prepare this like an alcohol wipe before you would, clean an area to do,
Yeah, absolutely. So why would you buy a transdermal patch? And we see a lot of them. Everybody's buying transdermal patches. You can buy them in the store. They don't come with an alcohol prep pad. But your skin is oily. It's dirty. So if you're going to put on a patch and you want the right bioavailability and you want it to get into the skin, you should clean that area before you apply the patch. And so that helps clean the skin. That's going to allow that skin, basically, it's going to allow you to receive more of the medicine if you clean that skin. And then you'll also notice on the instructions on our CBD patches, all of our patches really, once you put them on, you can kind of peel back the corner of that with your thumb, Jeff, and then you can peel that apart and you place that on. And we tell people there's a few different places. Normally, just like a Nicoderm patch, it doesn't matter where you put the patch too much because you're just trying to get it into the bloodstream, right? So you can put it right here on your arm, and that works for some. Others like it right back here on the neck, kind of back of the neck area. Some people put it on their chest. It doesn't matter. You got to find out what works for you. I kind of like mine more towards the central nervous system back here. But then again, I have a bad arm and I have tattoos. So depending if you have tattoos, you don't want to put it over a tattoo. It's probably not going to give you the bioavailability that you want. So find a good clean spot.
So when we open up the honeybee vitamin D patch, it's much smaller, just for everybody to see this here. It's a smaller size patch. It is about, I don't know, an eighth of what the size is on the.
Jeff, do you mind holding it up for a little closer so we can see? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a much smaller size patch there when it comes to the vitamin patch. So for
much
those
more discreet.
The way we do the CBD, for instance, when you're putting the isolate formula on a patch. So, for instance, if I did say a 1x1 patch for CBD, then that patch would only be, say, a 10 milligram patch. As I increase the volume area, I increase the milligrams of bioavailability that enter in the skin. So if I want to do a 1,000 milligram patch, it might look like an icy hot patch on the back, So depending, and that's because the way that the type of patch machine that we use and the way that we layer that on the patch, it's all equal throughout the whole patch. So it's not like I could cut you a 1-inch patch and the juice on it's a little thicker over here. No, it's even along the material. So based on what milligrams we want the body to get, we can cut the patch to different sizes, and then we know by formulation how much bioavailability you're going to get. Now, with transdermals, you're throwing away, believe it or not, you are actually throwing away almost, I would say, 30 to 50% of a transdermal, what's inside of it. Okay,
so my sample patch packet, Rich, came and it has just a 25 milligram patches on it. Just so people understand when they start placing orders and start thinking, hey, this is a really cool thing to do. You mentioned some lower milligram patches. For those that have never tried any CBD or anything, is it smart to start with a 25 milligram patch, or should they be looking to start with something microdosing, as we may call it, for something a little less than? Is that aggressive?
No. What we have found out is that we started off with 5, 10s, 15s. And if you look back to the merry medicinal days of CNN when they were coming on, their 10 milligram patch here. And this falls into what I was just saying. If, for instance, I give you a 10 milligram transdermal patch, you're probably only going to get about 3 to 4 milligrams, if you're lucky, out of that patch bioavailability. Believe it or not, in the transdermal patch world, most of it, you end up throwing it away. You have to put so much on to get so much bioavailability. So, for instance, a 25 milligram patch is finally going to get someone to that actual 8, 10 milligrams that they should be getting in. And that's where the doctors found out that you don't need to go with the lower milligram. You're going to get what you need out of the 25. And you can't really overdo the CBD receptors with a transdermal patch, because it's slow release over time, you're not going to compound those cannabinoid receptors all at once with just like 500 milligrams of CBD, boom. And, you know, then they're just, you know, all tapped out for the day. It's a slow release deal. It's kind of like if you've ever tried to quit smoking patch, it's kind of like it keeps you good for 12, 48 hours, depending on your body. So no, the higher the milligrams, the better it is. It's just like I said before, vitamin C. I'd rather take a 50 milligram vitamin C than a 20 milligram. The more I can get, the better. You know, and that's how I feel about CBD as well.
So let's talk a little bit about the tinctures and, you know, what people should look for when they start taking tinctures. You know, is there one tincture that's better than another? How should somebody, you know, assess what tincture to start with, you know, to try and to start the process of, you know, being the first time involved with them and go from there, you know? So what would you recommend?
Well, the one thing I like, so there's a lot of tinctures out there. There's alcohol tinctures, there's MCT tinctures, and I think we're one of the only companies on the market today that actually use apricot kernel oil. So we use an apricot kernel oil. Why? Vitamin E related. It's a lot better for the body than all that MCT going in there. And we find that we get a little bit more bioavailability with the apricot kernel oil as well. And so we even actually use the apricot kernel oil in some of our topicals and things of that. But we don't use the MCT, and I think that's what separates us from a lot of the other tincture companies. And then the isolates we use within those products are all made within the United States. So we don't go outside, yeah.
Now, what about the flavor profiles that you have outside of lemon and orange? They were so the ones that we received in the sample pack. Do you have anything else that I'm wondering if you actually have an apricot one since you're using apricot oil?
Yeah, actually, we actually can make those to order for any flavor any customer wants, as long as there's some volume. We stuck with those because that seemed to be the consensus of what people are buying out there, is the two simple lemon and orange. You know, you start getting into grapes and things of that nature, and then you start like getting little segments of people that don't like grape and they don't like. But lemon and orange seem to be always hit most of the population with a good smell and a good taste. So we went with lemon and orange. But we have customers that white label from us that do a blueberry and an apricot. So.
Nice. Now, also, if you want to make a few comments on your muscle jelly, and let me see here. Here, that's a better picture of the muscle jelly, and along with the lip balms as well. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about these two products.
Yeah, you know what? I really love the muscle jelly. It's a pre-workout thing for me. I work out 3 times a week, sometimes 4. And I don't know if you've seen the commercial. I've just been seeing them lately about this new product that's out there that they want you to use on your muscles and stuff. It helps muscle cramping and all this stuff. And yeah, I actually love our muscle jelly. It's a soothing cool. It does the job, and the bioavailability of CBD is just absolutely wonderful. So for actually like the patch, you know, you put up here and your pain could be in your ankle, you know, just because you have inflammation in your ankle doesn't mean your patch would go there. But what I like about the muscle jelly and things of that nature is that gets right on the location and digs in right to where the muscle issue is and gets right in there. So a mentholatum mixed with CBD, it's really good product. And you'll start seeing, Jeff, as the next couple of weeks, and your family starts breaking out that stuff and start using it. And then as people are on here, we can definitely ship out some samples here and there, especially if some people are looking at bringing in some product for, you know, multiple use customers, etc. But yeah, you'll actually love the way that muscle jelly. It's like an icy hot type of thing without the hot, but you get the CBD. So you'll enjoy it. The lip balms now.
You froze there, Rich.
Kernel oil in the lip balm.
Rich, say that again. You froze.
Oh, sorry.
The April lip balm.
Did you freeze or am I frozen? Okay.
No, you're frozen there. Okay, go ahead. Now you're back.
Okay.
No, you're freezing again, Rich.
Tasty. They smell great, but the fact
We're having some technical difficulties with
But
this.
with most lip balms, you actually have chapstick and all these other lip balms that are out there. You have to just keep applying them. What I've noticed actually putting lip balm on my lips 2 or 3 times a day. We've also had a and has helped them because of the CBD. The cold sore has disappeared a lot faster.
Hang with us,
Around there,
everyone. We're going to try and get. Hey, Rich, if you're with us, if you could turn off your video, you're lagging a bit, and we're going to see if that will help the stream of it a little bit, if you wouldn't mind.
What do you want me to do? Turn off my.
Yeah, you did.
Perfect, thanks. We're going to see if that helps out a little bit.
Rich, can you repeat what you were saying about the lip balms? That's where you cut out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. We are still having trouble with Rich's audio now.
Hold on.
I heard you say, hold on, Rich.
Okay. Hello?
Rich, you're back, so go ahead.
Let's do this. I've lost everybody. There you go.
I think we lost Rich there.
Here we go. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
We can hear him. We must not be able to hear us. So go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Rich. Go ahead.
So what I was saying about the lip balms is we not only love the flavors, but with the apricot kernel oil, and like I was saying before, most lip balm companies sell lip balms based on the fact that
Rich, I think we're losing you.
stops the addiction, which, you know, might slow down sales, but it's a good lip balm.
All right, I'm going to ask Rich to log out and log back in, and we'll take a few minutes and then give him back the microphone when he comes back on. Rich, can you do that? All right.
And move on to Chef Nikko.
I will actually, I'd actually just like to say one final word here, which is, you know, we appreciate President Naturals joining the show tonight here. When he comes back on at the end of the show, we will recap the lip balm comment that he was making if he's able to log back in. Okay. And one other thing, I saw somebody request samples. If you give me your information, I will put my information up. I will get to speak to Rich about samples. So I'll put my telephone number in the chat for everybody. Anybody that texts me, I'll be able to help facilitate samples for President Natural. All right, now let's move on to Chef Nikko. Chef Nikko, take it away, buddy.
All right, good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? So today, cooking with terpenes, we are literally going to do another wonderful roasted lamb. This is a lamb shank that I have back here, but I want to show you the plating real quick. This way you can see that everything has to start from a plant-based level first. So this right here is your watermelon farro salad with fresh oregano and pickled red onions. And then right here is your gastrique of a hemp seed tzatziki sauce with fresh cucumbers leading right to this wonderful plum ginger roasted apricot chutney. Now, all of this is screaming terpenes. All of this is screaming great flavor, but the only thing that is missing is that lamb shank. So,
Me.
So one thing that I want to highlight, and it's good that you're back, Rich, because the great thing about understanding lamb is that it's extremely high in 2 things, which is iron, which is good for the blood, which assists with some of the bioresin you were speaking about for the body, as well as B12. And B12 is extremely important to remember because B12 is your conversion vitamin. So in the consistency of how this actually will work when it comes to taking some of that CBD, you have the ability to understand that this plate will literally provide you with the nutrients that you need to make all of that happen. So I'm just going to bring this close. We don't have to make it look too pretty. We just
Bring
have
it
to
on
make
over.
look
Bring
good.
it over. I'm hungry. Let's
Okay.
go. Bring
And once again, folks, remember this. If your meat is not FOTB, which stands for fall off the bone, get it out of here. We don't want to deal with that. We want this bad boy. The moment you poke it, it just falls off, all right? So this right here is an amazing complete meal. It's going to touch all the necessary components that you need. We'll just give you one more quick look again, all right? Really fun and awesome. This is how you actually get some of those natural terpenes in there. Once again, we're just covering that terpenes are that lemon rind that you smell. When you smell that, that's terpenes. That orange rind, when you peel the orange, that's your terpenes. So when we go into the nature of our extractions, our concentrates, it allows us to appreciate it even more because its baseline will always be plant-based excellence, and that's the direction that we really need to go to. Rich, being that you're back, let's go back to some of that lip balm because that was a really good portion.
Okay. Yeah, man, I'm interested. Where are you located at anyways? That looks wonderful. Where are you a chef at?
Oh, okay. Well, I chef out of the need of my client, but right now I am currently in the location of New Jersey.
Okay. All right. So if I got to eat well, I got to fly to New Jersey. I get it. I like it. I like it. I like the presentation.
He's only a
And
few
I'm a
miles
lamb
from
lover.
my house. He's a
Nice.
few miles from my house, so I know who's cooking me dinner next.
Hey,
Oh, good.
Rich.
So
Rich, while we're talking the subject of geography, can you let the audience know where you're located as well as your operations?
yeah. So Present Naturals has 2 locations. We have one in Las Vegas, Nevada, and one here in Spokane, Washington. Most of our CBD stuff is out of Las Vegas, Nevada. That's where all that's manufactured. Some of it in South Orange County, where Ludwig and those guys are for the transdermal patches. Our sanitizer plant is in Spokane, Washington. So we do all of our hand sanitizer out of there, which has become quite a big business over the last couple months, as you can assume. And the, like I said, on the lip balms, I mean, the flavors are great. The taste is great. And what I really like about them is you don't have to use them all the time. Everybody's using a lip balm. You know, you constantly putting on lip balm to keep those lips moistened. I love the apricot kernel oil blend that we did with the lip balms because I find myself only using it once or twice a day. And and I know that's bad for me to say because then I'm not selling as much lip balm, but I'm providing a quality product, and that's what we want to be about anyways, you know. And the lip balms, just kind of a leader for us. It's to put something in your pocket that says Present Naturals on it so you remember who we are. And I really, we've had some great feedback on the cold sores. We've actually had feedback on people using the lip balms for hand sores and scratches and things like that because of the CBD and the apricot kernel oil, which carries a lot of vitamin E, remember. That actually heals wounds. And we've been actually, believe it or not, we stick the same apricot kernel oil, vitamin E, with a little bit of tea tree and some orange in our hand sanitizer as well. And even the ladies at the hospital are telling us that it's not dry and crack in their hands, but it's healing their hands. And so we're getting a lot of great feedback based on that apricot kernel oil over the last couple of years. So we've stuck with that versus the MCT. And I think that's what basically makes us a little bit different as a CBD company. We also have, we're building a tea-free facility out in Wisconsin. So we've been doing research and development. Last year we did about 1 million pounds of biomass out in the Midwest, and kind of looking at more in the hemp growth operations as we move down the line, providing ourselves with our own isolate from our own crop, being just vertically integrated as a company, so we're not moving outside. Even though we have a lot of trusted partners we've been working with for years, it's just always nice to be vertically integrated. So we're working towards a manufacturing facility that'll get us the isolate or the distillates we need to make more products down the road in-house. So as we grow, we hope to be bringing better prices as we bring that in-house, so we don't have to sub it out, and even better quality products as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Chef Nikko, So let's go back to you for a little bit about the food, because I think everybody's more interested right now in what you have in front of you before it gets too cold.
Let's bring this up again so we can go over some of this greatness. So in the nature of dosing, it's really important to understand microdosing. Each red dot is dosed the same. You have about 5 milligrams there. Then you have the tzatziki sauce, which is dosed, and that has about 15 milligrams as well. Then you have the farro and the watermelon. Now, mind you, when it comes to a chef, all of this has to be cohesive within your dish. So where are you going to actually use a extraction or a concentrate? Specifically for myself, the healthy oils, which would be coconut oil, grass-fed butter, or olive oil. Well, it would go into folding it into a salad. This way you keep the highest quality there and you're not burning it off. When it comes to the lamb shank, this was done with just a good African tandoori rub to cause some of the moisture to come out. We brought it down to 260, cooked it slow and low, and then made a nice glaze from the juice that came off of it. That's when you fold that wonderful extra amount in there, and it's perfect now. You just rub that on top, and now you've dosed the shank. So everything here is dosed, but the total amount, this plate is about a 325 plate. Now, if you're going to do something extra for those that are experienced, you can always now just dab a little bit more of that extra oil on top. You can add another sauce if you, exactly, you can add another sauce if you need to. There's a value that will go for the experts. But when it comes to the beginning, folks, you want to understand. And when it comes to measurements, a milligram is about 1,000 to equal 1 gram. So if you have an amazing product like Joe Hager that'll give you that 1 gram kicker, just remember that's 1,000 milligrams. So this plate is a great start off, which is only 325. It's only going to create a slight tingling in the body. The psychoactive effects aren't going to have you tracing the walls. The most important thing is to remember a dish like this, you want to enjoy it for its culinary excellence. But then as you're getting close to the end of the meal, you're just like, wait a minute, that chewing feeling feels great. That's when you start to realize that's when it gets a little bit fun. And to highlight what Rich was talking about, terpenes goes perfectly with apricot because apricot by nature is orange. And that is vitamin A, and terpenes equals vitamin A. It literally goes in that married process because it's all plant-based excellence. So this plate, in the nature of how it converts due to vitamin B12, is another coexisting handshake with Rich's product because this is going to convert all of those properties in the body that the CBD product is there to assist with the anti-inflammatory. So this is why it's important to place that education on the plate, make it amazing, knock your socks off, and then you can just sit back and be like, hey man, I got really high and relaxed at the same time, and I'm safe. I'll do it again. And that's what we want from folks. So there we go. Little note from Chef Nikko.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. I think that, listen, I mean, Dr. Andrew Weil, I know it's probably been, I think it was 10 years ago, he probably first came out with his first book regarding terpenes and marijuana. And those terpenes all work in conjunction. If you were to eat I think it's a mango or a papaya, whatever one has the most myrcene, and then you get high, your high is going to last longer. And so if you're feeding the body properly, then you're going to get a better return on your investment, let's say, if you're feeding the body properly with the right terpenes and the B12s and making sure everything's working cohesively, than if you're just feeding something one derivative or another. So very good, Chef Nikko, very good. Like the product.
Absolutely.
Looks great.
Absolutely. And the way these things coexist is when I'm actually making the farro, which is an ancient grain, which has a healthier carbohydrate for the body and the level of nutrition, I'm infusing rosemary. And we've covered rosemary before, but one of the important things about it is that it goes to the amygdala in the brain that literally primes the cannabinoids. And if you can put more nutrition into your body, forget about really understanding that you should be doing CBD because it's an anti-inflammatory plant. You should be enjoying THC because it's an anti-inflammatory superfood. But before all of that, you have plants that have nothing to do with these regulations that can prime the natural cannabinoids in your body. So when you need to reach out to Joe, when you need to reach out to Rich, you are literally shaking hands with Mother Nature because they did it already for you. And this works perfect.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, I know where I'm coming for dinner when I come out east.
Well,
Right.
absolutely.
Hey, man, I know that's right.
So, guys, I know that we're running a little short on time. We have about a few minutes left, but really tonight's show was great. We really appreciate tonight's sponsor, Rich Present and Present Naturals. Anybody looking forward to making sure they get those samples, please text me. I put my number in the chat room for everybody. Up, the dog said hello. So,
Hey, this dog.
Rich, while we're at it, please, any social handles that we might be able to follow so that we can keep track of the great things that you guys are doing.
You know, that is a dark. One thing we lack, we do have the Facebook page, and we're on Amazon as well. We have our own Amazon store,
Okay.
Amazon as well. But the one place we're lacking, believe it or not, is we've been very comfortable when we shouldn't be. We should be doing a lot more social media, and we just really don't. But we will start getting up on that. I swear to God, we need to. We've been talking about it. But it's one of the areas that, because we've been doing so many white labels and behind the scenes type of things for other companies, we really haven't really merchandised ourselves or marketed ourselves too much. It's coming.
Understand that.
Yeah, it's coming. But yeah, check us out on Facebook, presentnaturals.life. Check that out. You've got our science behind the products on that page. Anything you need or questions, please reach out to us and email us. If you're looking for something particular, we do mixes all the time. For instance, we've got a company out there that orders CBD plus B12 in the same patch.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do some multiple use patches and D and vitamin D and CBD. So we've got different companies doing different formulations depending on what their client base is. So we can mix and match and do all sorts of different things for you. And we rely a lot on word of mouth, which is going pretty well. I think we spent too much time doing R&D when we should have hit the marketplace a little sooner. But believe it or not, the quality of product I'm happy with, which overall, that's what my main goal is. It's not about the money. It's more about the quality. The money will come later. So
at the end of the day, the product has to speak for itself, and it sounds like it does for you guys. So thank you so much for sharing today. Everyone, go check out Present Enterprise, all the amazing products that they have. Get yourself one of those sample boxes. Check out these guys. They're doing amazing stuff, and they're able to do amazing stuff for your companies. So please utilize this source. Rich is ready for your questions and wants to talk to people. So.
Well, before we close out tonight, I know we're going to go over a little longer, but since we have a sponsor with us tonight that is willing to stay on for the whole show, does anybody have any questions for Rich that they'd like to, throw at him now that might be we could help facilitate? So if you do, please put that in the chat room, and I will help facilitate it, or unmute yourself and just ask Rich yourself.
So Rich, I'll go first. Extraction methods are a big talk in the industry right now. What do you guys primarily use as your main means of extraction?
Well, our third-party extractor that we get isolate from uses an ethanol start, ethanol extraction, 200 proof, undenatured, USP quality ethanol. And we start with that, and then there's a process we use. We have a couple of guys that used to work for SpaceX and NASA that do a proprietary process that break that down. Yeah. And of course, when we're all done, we push the THC aside, make sure there's absolutely no THC in anything we do. So not yet. Back in medical, we had THC patches, and they were the most famous, and trust me, they were the most popular. We actually made a THC patch for Snoop Dogg. It was back in about 3 years ago, we were making 20 milligram THC patches. Snoop wanted a 40 milligram patch. And so we made him a couple of samples of that. He liked that. But then again, he wanted too much money to come on board. So we said, no, that's okay. But we love you, Snoop. But yeah, I mean, we're growing every day, and we're looking for different formulations of different natural additives that can help the body basically get more bioavailability from CBD, just like Nikko said, right? It all works in conjunction. And so if you're going to be out there and you're going to eat double cheeseburgers all day, you're not going to eat healthy, you're not going to take care of your body, you're not going to do this, don't expect shit from CBD, don't expect shit from anything, excuse my language, but you're just not going to get what you need to get out there. I mean, CBD is about living healthy. It really is. This is a plant-based product that, you know, you just need to get in your body. 10 years from now, we will be living on a plant-based menu. All right. We'll be lucky to have that lamb shank on the plate. Right. So we've got to use these terpenes and these natural plant-based substances to create the flavor like Nikko's doing, and to create a healthy body. And if we can get all the right things in the body, the vitamin D, the B12, the CBD, let's throw a little THC in there, because I'm a firm believer the body needs it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the receptors for it. Okay. And all that's going to work in conjunction together. And believe it or not, CBD is absolutely wonderful. But if you can sneak in a little THC once in a while, it's good for you. It's really
what the analogy I like to make is, you know, CBD is definite medicine. If you throw in a little bit of THC, it's like hopping in the fast lane, baby. You just accelerate that medical process without giving the intoxicating effect to be able to manage day-to-day life and whatever issues you're dealing with. Rich, I have another question. As far as what you guys are doing and developing currently, what are you most excited about?
Oh, right now, we're working on, believe it or not, we're working on a beard oil.
Yeah, sure.
My brother's excited about that. He likes that because, and believe it or not, he doesn't have a beard, but he likes that because he's got a lot of friends with beards, and apparently the oil's really good on the beard, and it makes you smell like oranges all day. So that's one of the things he's excited about. We're also doing some new topicals, research and some new topicals and bioavailabilities there. The other thing that Aaron is working on, and I'll have to bring him on here in a couple weeks as well. He's just not pretty to look at, so I don't bring him on TV. He's my brother. He's my brother. You know, he got the dad's look. He got the red hair, the big belly. He got the Jew look. Completely. My brother, I got the Italian from my mom, so I got really lucky. But we're constantly working, and the good thing about Present Naturals is that if a company has something specific in mind, they have a particular client base that wants to do a specific type, whether it's a patch or a lotion or a tincture or whatever it is, we'll hand it off to the PhD guys, let them kind of figure out if it can be formulated and if it'll give you the bioavailability that you should get from that product. And if we can do that, we can build almost any product. We have the technology. So, and like, God, it's a super exciting time. This restart that we've gotten in the world, I think it's a restart. People are going to start looking towards more healthier, health conscious type products that are CBD, terpene driven, and I think people are going to start taking more care of their body after what we're going through, and they're going to start seeing that that's very important. So,
well, and you know, Rich, I think in so many ways, like this quote unquote reset for us has only reinforced traditional values. Being able to cook a home cooked meal, sitting down as a family, you know, having the time to physically be present, you know, and to your point, I really hope it does, spill over into the reopening and the reality that we're living in, because like you said, you know, and Chef Nikko, like you said as well, it starts with how we feed our bodies. And then when you add that CBD on the top, it's just an accelerant for living a healthy lifestyle day in and day out.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand when you're mixing a little bit of THC with CBD, you're not going to get that psychoactive that you would if you sat down and took a bong rip or smoked a joint. You're not going to get that when you mix CBD with THC. CBD cancels out a lot of the psychoactive properties that THC has. As a matter of fact, CBD, we made a sublingual pill for a little while, and we'll bring it back out probably in the next 6 months. Before anybody else had a sublingual pill, we were doing a CBD pill, and we used to call it the hangover fix, because man, you took these 30 milligram CBD pills after a hangover and it was gone, you know. And it's just there are so many different things that CBD and or THC, the terpenes, we haven't even begun to find out every terpene and all the avenues of which these plants can help us in different ways. We haven't even I mean, Israel's on its way to studying it, but we have so much more to learn from the marijuana plant or the hemp plant that it's just going to increase the human life eventually. People are going to get involved. It's just a product we have to learn more about. We have to educate more people. I mean, if you told everybody it wasn't CBD and it wasn't hemp, but it was a plant-based product, right? They'd all be all over it. And as soon as they found out the plant, then they'd be like, oh, I don't know, you know. But we just have to get this stigma out of the way, show some of the research, and show how the body just thrives on CBD and the terpenes and anything that comes from that hemp plant. It's just unbelievable. I mean, personally, I don't take anything. I mean, I just don't. I don't take pills. I don't take anything. An ibuprofen once in a while. I'm 50 years old. I've been taking CBD and smoking weed since I was 13. So I'm healthy as an ox, working out 3-4 times a day. I think I take care of my body. That's what happens.
A day, Rich.
What?
A week or a day?
What?
Working out 3-4 times a day?
No, a week, yeah. I wish. Yeah, no, God, I hate working out. I have to kill myself just to work out 3 times a week. But I think that we've got to get over this stigmatism, and we've got to just educate more people in society that understand that this is just something that's going to help you long term. It's not a short term deal, that it's something your body needs. You have receptors for it. And a lot of it's just going to come down to educating people. And I think that the restart and the pandemic thing are having people look to more holistic ideas and different products out there. So it's just a plant-based product, and it doesn't matter what plant. This is what it does. These are the terpenes. These are the cannabinoids. Get them in your body and feel the success that your body should feel every day. And that's what we're trying to do.
Rich, we really thank you for joining us on this edition of Cannabis Pitch Live. And if anybody out there wants to get a hold of any of these samples, one, you can text me. My number is 215-688-3075. Again, 215-688-3075. And I'll be happy to facilitate the process of getting you guys your sample box from Rich. And then secondly, just to note that, you know, anybody that's interested in the hand sanitizer, masks, any PPE out there, Present Enterprises is a huge distributor of those products. I can help facilitate the process of that. Get a hold of me for those products as well. We have a great sponsor in Rich, and we really look forward to helping him grow his business like we help each and every one of you. And tonight, it's been a pleasure to have you on. We hope to see you on more regularly, Rich. And maybe you could, you know, let me know when you want to get Aaron on, and we could talk a little bit more in depth about the science, because it is amazing to have this opportunity to help educate the community, not only for the products, but the science and why, because it really is, it is important on the why. It's not about, oh, anybody could use the product. Well, it's about, okay, what's it going to do for me? How is it going to help me? And you know what, folks? I mean, everybody should really consider one thing, and I'm going to put this up here again. These 2 patches that have nothing to do with CBD and hemp. And if you're really thinking, maybe the game for hemp, CBD, I'm not ready for it. But think about this. Do something healthy for yourself and put on maybe a little vitamin, add a little bit of juice to your life, and feel good. So this doesn't even have to be about the CBD or hemp. This could be about just doing what's right for your body, doing what's right for you. You know, whether it's the vitamins, the hand sanitizer, the masks, anything that Present Naturals, Present Enterprise, Present Life, Present Naturals Life has to offer. We have a bounty of things that we can help with, and we can all help get everybody healthy. So really a great job tonight. Thank you for joining us, Rich, and let us know when you want to bring on Aaron. That would be a great pleasure. And once again, this has been your Wednesday edition of Cannabis Pitch Live. Come the week of July 14th, we will be having 2 shows, not just one. Just to make an announcement here, July 14th, we will be having a State of the Cannabis address. And we will also be having on July 15th a 1-hour show with Chef Nikko of Cooking with Terpenes, our new website, cookingwithterpenes.com. Okay, so next week we will have our normal scheduled programming on July 8th, but come the 14th and the 15th, we're going 2 hours, 1 hour each night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and we will have a State of the Cannabis with our sponsor, and then the following night, every Wednesday on July 15th and forward, will become a full 1 hour cooking show with demonstrations, techniques, how to microdose. We're going to be going over a lot of food. We're going to be teaching people the importance on how to properly consume cannabis. So that's your show tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Take care, everyone. Stay
Hey,
safe.
you guys are awesome. Thank you for having me on.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Thanks,
one.
Rich.
You guys are great. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye now.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, Nico.
Every time, you know it. Rick, we're going to talk.
Yeah, I'll see you soon, brother.
All right, good man.